Cancer. Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name is Carol, and if you're new to this channel, I want to welcome you as well. And this is a fairly new channel. I started it in December 2023. So if you're coming back again, awesome. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing this month. We're going to be doing your healing map. So for May 2024, we're going to be looking at, where you're sitting with your healing. And in particular, I'm going to start out with looking at what your situation is. So are you dealing with a pattern that's showing up in your life? That you just can't figure out why it keeps happening and you can't stop it, or it stops and it starts again. A struggle. Are you having a problem with a relationship? Are you, having some relational issues, at work maybe, with a colleague, intimate partner, friend? So we'll look at something like that, just to see what's coming up. And there always is something that's going to come up with the tarot. And then I'm going to look at what needs healing, because what needs healing is what is actually having the big impact on the situation, and it is what's causing it to, recur, or it's causing you that struggle with, or that problem with not being able to figure out, what decision you have to make or what you need to do in the situation. So what we're going to be doing in line 2 is we're going to be doing a little bit of shadow work. So we're going to be looking at your shadow and what is coming up from your unconscious to heal. So if you're not familiar with that term, shadow work or shadow, I've left a video down below in the description box, and I'm also going to leave it at the end of this video. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide for Shadow Work. And I have been on a healing journey myself for pretty much all my life, but intensively for the last 7 years. And, I've learned so much on my own healing journey. And so I put a video together and to how to do shadow work. And really what shadow work is just taking a deep dive into that stuff that you've pushed down, repressed, or hidden away from everybody, including yourself. But it needs to be healed, in order for us to move on. And then I'm going to look at how can I heal this? So we look at what's in your shadow, and then we're going to look at, well, how are you going to heal it? And then finally is the outcome, Once you start getting on that road to healing this, what benefit is it for you? Like, what's going to happen for you, or what? So it's usually the advice from the tarot, a little bit of guidance maybe, or just final. This is what you're going to get out of this healing that you need to do. So let's get started. If I can put these cards back together, I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck, and I'm going to clarify it with if I have to. I may not have to. Some rows I will, or a single card here and there with a mini Rider-Waite deck. I'm also going to pull a card from a spirit animal from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck here, and I'll do that at the end. Okay, so let's get going. Let's ask Tarot right now for what situation is Cancer dealing with? What situation is Cancer? Oops. And I'm just going to ask for 3 cards for Cancer right now. Oh, too many cards here. Okay, so I'm going to take out. The Judgment card was the first one that came out for you. And then I got the King of Cups. So I need one more card here for the top row. Temperance card. 2 Major Arcana cards in the top row. Major Arcana cards are like these major universal forces that kind of shift us and move us. They're not our daily life experiences, but they're the major universal forces. They're not like qualities we take on. Next is row 2, and that's what needs healing. Okay, so this is what's coming up from your unconscious that needs healing. This is the shadow work that we're going to be doing here. We have a 7 of Pentacles. A 7 of Pentacles in reverse. And with that, one more card. That flipped up for me. And it is the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles. And then we have how can I heal this? How can I heal this? What's coming up for my shadow? How can I heal it? 2 cards here. You have the King of Wands. You have the 2 of Cups. And finally, one more card. How can Cancer heal this? Ooh, you have the Tower moment, and it came out sideways here. So, I will place it sideways back where it belongs. Tower card here. How can I heal this? What is the outcome? What's the outcome for Cancer? What is the outcome? Well, you have, and I want 2 cards. So you have the 5 of Wands in reverse, and you have the 8 of Swords. Okay. All right, Cancer. So back in December, I put out 2024 yearly readings for all the signs. And so Cancer, what I did was I pulled your May card that came out in that reading. I pulled out 12 cards. And the card that you got for your overriding energy, I'm going to use it for this reading, is the Fool. And the Fool card is a card that does not come out in my deck a lot. And the Fool card comes out when you need to make a move. And it's like you need to trust in the universe. Like it's time. You know, you could have been sitting on something for so long and wanting to do it, and you just couldn't. And so the Fool card as an overriding energy is kind of saying, you know, trust in the universe. Like you can do this. Have complete faith, like that, you know, the innocence of a child. You know how children are. They're just so carefree, not afraid. Most of them, you know, are not afraid to do things until, you know, the fear is kind of put in them sometimes. But, you know, have that innocence, that carefree innocence of a child of just, I'm going to do this. And so the Fool is wanting you to make that move. All right, so we'll see how that fits in, or if it does fit in this reading here. All right, so let's start off with what situation you're dealing with here. So you have 2 major arcana, like I said, so 2 big cards here. The Judgment card comes out here. And that's very interesting because you got the Fool here as an overriding energy. And the Judgment card, take a look at these people in this card. They're rising from their coffins. They're hearing this horn. And they're hearing a call. And they're rising to it. They're listening to it. And so maybe you're feeling like you're being nudged. You know, sometimes we feel that by the universe. We feel like, you know, some of you might call it being called. You feel like you're being called to do something else, go in a different direction. You know, it could be something to do with your job. Maybe you want to do something different with your job. Maybe there's some other interests you have. Maybe there's something, a new lifestyle you want to try. There's something that you feel like you're, and usually when, you know, I want to remind you too that a lot of times when this card does come out, this is a major arcana card. So, you know, usually it's something that you've been sitting with for a bit. It's not like this spontaneous, you know, decision that you're going to make. It's kind of been one that you've been sitting with. Maybe you've been listening to your intuition, your inner guidance, and you're feeling that this is something that you want to do, need to do. And the King of Cups comes in behind it. And the King of Cups is interesting because the kings in my deck, all four of them, represent your ego. And that's how I look at them. And in particular, this particular king is the King of Cups. And he's the cup of emotions. And he... Did I say the cup of? The king of emotions. And he doesn't believe in... he wouldn't believe in this kind of stuff, right? You're feeling this nudge here. It's a feeling. It's a gut feeling. Well, your ego's coming in and saying, you don't listen to your gut. You listen to your head. The ego is all about your head. It's all about your mind. It is your mind is your ego. It's what tells you on a daily basis what to do. But our intuition and our inner guidance, it's going to come from your gut. It's that feeling that you have. And this ego is coming in and going, no, you don't listen to that. And so there is a part of you that knows you're feeling to go in this direction. Your ego's going, no, you don't listen to that. And then the Temperance card comes in. And the Temperance card is like that card of, for me, it's kind of a card of waiting, you know, like kind of figuring it out. Like you're really hesitant right now. This person has, their foot one dipped in the water, about, you're feeling it. You're wondering about it. One foot on the ground. So you're trying to remain grounded. You're trying to remain balanced. You're in the midst right here of not really knowing what to do. And that has a lot to do with the fact that once your ego steps in, you've got your intuition saying, this is what you want to do. And your ego steps in. And then that's when you kind of just go, I don't know. So you're kind of in that state where you're not really quite sure what to do. Yeah. And so you're kind of just waiting in limbo, And so what needs healing? Now, I don't want to tell you how many times when I've wanted to do something new for me and take my life in a new direction, my ego will always step in and put doubts in my head all the time. It never fails. And so I know that for me, it's something I need to go back and ground myself, get back into my body, and get back in touch with my intuition again, get out of my head and not listen to my ego, and try to figure out, okay, what's my next step? What do I need to do? And usually it's step number 2, row number 2, where I got to dig deep into my shadow. I got to look at what needs healing here. So why are you having these second thoughts? Why are you having these doubts? Why are you sitting in this state of limbo? Well, the first card I see is the 7 of Pentacles that comes up. And by the way, you have 2 pentacles. 2 pentacles sitting here in your shadow row. Pentacles is all about being grounded. It's all about being in the body. It's all about making our decisions from our emotions, from our body, not from up here. And so what needs to be healed is, well, this is in reverse here. And so this card in an upright position is interesting here. We have this gardener. He's hoed all his pentacles, right? He's amassed all this, wealth maybe, or material goods or whatever it is that he's, worked on all his life. And he's looking at it and he's going, is this everything? Like, is this it? It's almost like when you've dreamed all your life about wanting to do something and then you finally get to do it and you kind of go, is this it? And so that's where he is. but then it's in reverse and it's sitting in your shadow. And so when this card is turned around, I'm seeing that you're really, really feeling a loss here. Like here it is, you're looking at something that you've put a lot into, and there's a real loss here. Like, and there is a resistance to seeing more. Like because you're sitting with so much loss in your shadow, you have a real resistance to even seeing that there could be more for you, right? That there is more out there for you. The Seven of Pentacles is saying, is this it? Well, there is more out for you, but there is a real loss here that's sitting in your shadow. And I'm seeing here that right behind it, it kind of explains what this loss is. It's a loss of your self-worth. Because these two individuals in the Five of Pentacles, this is the worthiness card, where they're walking by this church, and look at how they're dressed. They're not dressed for the cold. They're not dressed for the winter. They don't have shoes, but they don't feel worthy enough, to knock on the door and ask for some help. And they don't even feel worthy. And so I'm feeling here that there's a real loss on your part. Something when you were younger, there's been a real loss there, and that has led to your unworthiness of feeling that you're just not worth it. And so what's happening is you cannot take this jump. You cannot, listen to this call, this nudge that you're feeling, because your unworthiness is getting in the way. And that's coming in right now. And sometimes this King of Cups right here, he might come in, the ego might come in. You might hear messages sometimes that, you're not worthy enough, or you can't do this, or, whatever it is, might not bring you enough money, or, it'll put doubts in our minds. So you have some unworthiness that needs to be dealt with before you can take your life into this new, or answer this call, this nudge that you want to do. And so how can you heal this? How do you heal your unworthiness? Well, the King of Wands comes in, and the Wands are about creativity. The Wands are about our purpose in life. The Wands are about, taking our life in the direction that we think we want to go in. And that's all about that Judgment card, because the Judgment is that call, right? It's that little knock on the door saying, hey, this is where you need to go right now. The King of Wands comes in. I said my king represents our ego. So King of Cups is all about, emotions and dissing the emotions and, saying that, you don't follow your emotions. This King of Wands, well, he doesn't believe in creativity. He's not about that. He's about getting the job done. He's about making money, spending all these hours working your ass off, like this pentacle over here, the Seven of Pentacles. And so the ego will definitely jump in all the time. And you have to be aware of that. Because when you go to heal this, you've got your ego that will come out and say, this whole thing about purpose is crap. You can't, or creativity, you can't waste your time on that. But what has to happen here is, realize that you have this really strong ego that's going to try to stop you and block things. But what needs to be done here is for you to begin a relationship of the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is that exchange of love. But it's not an exchange with another person. There isn't somebody that's going to come and magically make this happen for you. There is a relationship that needs to start here because it's the number 2. So it's right at the beginning. And the relationship is the relationship with yourself. in order to get back to, this call and to really get in touch with, to get really certain about it, if you really want to know what it is, what I'm supposed to do, because you are sitting in limbo. This card, this Two of Cups, is a real healing relationship with this Caduceus right here. And it's the relationship that you're going to have with yourself. You get back to grounding and stillness and start to really listen to what your emotions are about this. Not what this king is telling you. He's your ego. He's not, this isn't the truth. This unworthiness that you're feeling right here, that's not the truth. That's not your truth. Your truth is what you're feeling in here in your body. The Tower card comes in right after at the end for how you can heal this, and it's in reverse here, and it's like the Tower card comes in, and it's funny because it's come in twice now, like 2 times already when I've been doing these readings, and it's not a card that comes in often at all. But the Tower card really comes in when a change needs to be made. It's one of those major changes in our life that comes in and just shakes things up. And it came in sideways here. And so what I want to say to you is that, like, I believe that there is a real calling here for you, that the universe is wanting to get your attention. Maybe you know what it is. The universe wants you to take your life in this direction and, start to really listen to this calling and deal with this unworthiness. Because if you don't, sometimes the Tower moment will come in, right? So you need to start to get back into your body and really get in touch with your emotions again, your intuition, your inner guidance. Because it's like this Tower moment here is brewing. And sometimes maybe because it's come in sideways, maybe there has been a Tower moment already. And maybe there's been some healing that's taken place, and maybe more healing needs to take place, After a Tower moment comes healing. Yeah, after a Tower moment comes healing. It's the Star card, and it's all about healing. And so I'm seeing that, maybe some healing needs to take place. Okay, some more healing. What's the outcome here? Well, the 5 of Wands. Let's look at it's in reverse, so let's look at this card right here. The outcome of this. Well, these individuals here are having a battle of the wands. And remember how I said that wands is all about creativity, taking your life in a new purpose, a new direction, following your purpose. And these particular individuals, this is what I call a battle of the ego. This is when you start to compare yourself to other people and you judge yourself. Well, this unworthiness that you're feeling, you could probably be comparing yourself to others. Like sometimes when you're hearing a calling to do something, or you're supposed to do something, or a lot of times our ego will come in, or this unworthiness will kick in, and we'll start comparing ourselves to other people. And this came in reverse for you. So the outcome here is once you deal with this unworthiness, you will, no longer compare yourself to other people. Because it's our unworthiness that makes us go out and compare ourselves to other people. It almost feeds into it, right? And as soon as you start to compare yourself to other people, it just blocks any creativity that you have. And so I'm seeing here that, I see the outcome of this is once you start to heal some of your unworthiness, that you're going to judge yourself less. You're not going to have that self-worth issue, and you're not going to go out there and that's not going to be one of your blocks to doing what you're being called to do. And the 8, so the outcome is the 8 of Swords. Also, the 8 of Swords that comes behind this. And I think what's going to happen is this woman right here she has this blindfold on. She's put all this barrier up of swords behind her. Now remember that swords is your mental energy, all those mental thoughts that you tell yourself. Think of all those unworthy things you tell yourself, you know. You can't do this, you're not able to do this, you're not talented enough, you're stupid. Those are all our mental thoughts and belief systems that we have. And you know, you can spin your head a lot around these. And this is what she's doing here. And she feels like she's trapped. She sees no way out. The outcome of this situation for you is, I think you're sitting with this temperance because you see no way out. You were sitting in limbo at the beginning. What's going to happen is once you start to deal with your unworthiness, you are going to see that you can get out. You are going to see that you can just take this, well, you can't take your blindfold off, but I know what you can do. You can walk away because your feet are not tied up. And look at her feet. She has these, you know, little puddles of water right here. Well, water's all about our emotions, right? You're going to get to start feeling again. You know, and one of the things, and you're going to start to see that you can get out of this. There is a way out of this. And once you start unfeeling and dealing with once you start feeling and dealing with your unworthiness, then you're going to see a way out. You're in this temperance right here. It's not going to exist anymore, right? You're not going to be sitting in limbo. And you'll be able to do what you feel like you're being called to do. Okay, so let me leave you with a spirit animal card here as the last card. And I'm wondering if this refers to the Tower card that we have in here. It's number 64. It is Wasp Spirit. And it's called Sometimes Life Stings. Not all that spirit creates in nature is easy to love. But when we look through the eyes of Wasp Spirit, we recognize that even though sometimes life stings, there is a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. So too, the sting of life may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed or even resentful that the wasp spirit has shown up. But you will soon come to see that spirit has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. Perhaps behind the scenes, Wasp Spirit was conspiring with Spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and Wasp Spirit plays a part. Have you ever looked back and been glad your prayers weren't answered because the path you took led to something far better? Wasp Spirit is a reminder to reflect on those times, for today's sting may hurt, but something better awaits you. All right, Cancer, that's your reading. So take care, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.